Organized labor has consistently said, well, from the prying eyes of the president, that workers are suffering, government didn't seem to care. And this time he was there and they told him, what do you think the level of actions that have been undertaken so far by the president and his government, that shows that there's some level of empathy with the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian?
I have reiterated these things. I have really mentioned
what
it
did you say?
in my submission. But before I get to that, let me just touch on some few things that he has really said. Especially, let me even start with the health insurance where he ended. When you say 6%, when you use percentage to really judge this, it means you're doing an analysis which really does not gel, because 6% of an amount of money will be bigger than 80% of a release that you have done. He's saying cash and carry. I, who grew up in Ashanti region, in 2015, 2014, 2015, 2016, under Mahama, we're doing capitation. I cannot go to even 2 hospitals. My mother went and chose a health center in Efiduase. She has to go to Efiduase government hospital, and we were paying. For 3 years, we were paying. They said they were using us as guinea pigs in Ashanti region, because they said they were doing some capitation there. So was health insurance working under you? No. Today, how many times since we came into government from 2017 up to today, leave these figures and tell us, how many times have you ever seen health insurance providers turning people down, telling people that don't come if you're using health insurance? No, because we are not in default. It should tell you. It's not about the percentage.
You live in Ghana?
I live here. Tell me when. Tell me. No,
Roland,
I'm saying that since we came from 2017 up to today, there's no single instance where you go to a hospital and they will tell you that we're not taking health insurance.
Do you live in Ghana?
I live here. Give me an instance.
Did you listen to the health minister?
When we came, I listened to him. He did not say it has collapsed.
What did he say?
Let me
because the health minister is even not on national health insurance for obvious reasons. It's not working well. And you have to say this publicly.
I am telling you that since we came, we abolished the, we came and met about 2.4 billion debt for over a year. Over a year's claims that were supposed to pay. We paid everything. We became up to date on the payments to the extent that since we came from 2017 up to today, there's no single day that they brought us an announcement here to tell you that if you are using health insurance, go to 37. In Kumasi, they will tell us, if you're using health insurance, in 2015, 2016, they will tell you, go to Tech Hospital, because they are the only institution that will take health insurance, because government refused to pay claims. So today, claims are not in arrears. So it should tell you that indeed health insurance is working better than under you. Again, there are certain things that he's even mentioning, that emergencies by vice president. So is this a new budget line? Is this a new thing that the vice president office don't have emergencies? You see, when you do this, you sort to, that's the reason sometimes people will think that politicians are not really being fair to themselves. You came and said, we're using this amount of money for telephone, when you didn't tell us under Mahama, this is the amount you're using for telephone. Or under Mahama, there were no expenditure at the office of the president. You see, you do a comparative analysis and say that under Mahama, on telephone bills, this is the amount we're paying. Under Akufo-Addo, this is the amount we're paying. Then we'll appreciate. But if you do a skewed analysis and tell us that they were spending this amount of money and so on, and they are spending higher than any other person, how do you even determine that as higher? How do you determine that as higher when you have not given us a comparative analysis of what you were doing at your time? When you are not telling us that these are new budget lines that has been added to the office of the vice president or the office of the president. On tax revenue, I have been hearing this a number of times, that take this amount of money from tax revenue, take this amount of money from tax revenue, it will be, it amount to this one. Our tax revenue is catering 2 budget lines. 2, just 2. Public sector.
What month
workers.
are we? What month are we?
Yeah, this month.
This month is what? May.
Yes.
I'm just speaking. I'm just getting.
No, let me just finish.
Awal. Stop. It's like you are doing. Why is it that when you come?
I am telling you what we are using our tax. He asked the question. What are we using the tax revenue for?
The National Health Insurance Scheme, for example, owes service providers. And this one,
yes,
an individual and then their group in Northern Ghana.
Yes.
Since May 2022, they haven't been paid. That's
an individual. You said an individual.
An individual and their groups by way of service providers of the national in Northern Ghana.
Claims are not paid every day.
I know that. But if you don't pay for a year, pay for a year, usually you can owe 2 quarters.
No,
you can owe 2 quarters. That's problematic. Yes. What? You don't find problem with this?
No, but I'm telling you that at least for now, the service providers are in business. But I'm not telling you that they are driving people away.
For 12 months, they haven't been paid.
You don't know what you are talking about.
Okay, continue with your argument.
I'm telling you that under the NDC, they were in default to the extent that they tell you that don't come with health insurance because we're not even accept it. We came from 2017.
Is that not why they lost the election in 2016?
No, I'm telling you that we are managing it better. The reason is that in their time,
the default rates that we are currently or have been pegged by Fitch rating agencies that were used for campaigns.
You are mixing a lot of things here. I'm building a point. You just came in and distorted my. I'm saying that the tax revenue, he said, what are we using the tax revenue for? And I'm telling him that the tax revenue, about 50% is going into compensation. Because we have built at least we've employed a lot of people. We have invested in a health infrastructure than any other government. We have employed nurses than any other government in the history of this country. We have invested in education than any other government in this country. We have built 11 senior high school, brand new senior high school, 36 classroom blocks. 11. One at Abomosu, one at Pasenke. 11, 36 classroom. One is even at Weja here. You can go with your cameras. 36 classroom blocks, which we even have the E block. One is only 12 classroom blocks. We have 36 classroom blocks, 10 labs, dormitories, and all a complete senior high school. So you are asking us what we use it for. We have.
He says it's not true. Maximum 6 months that they are owed during the period of the NDC. So the comparison don't.
You see, an individual is talking to you.
No, he's an association head.
Mention.
Of service providers.
This is a bigger platform. You mention the person.
If you mention
if it is really a matter of fact, the person will have to come out to say
the person is lying.
How do I take it? How do I take an anonymous person?
I'm verifying information.
How do I even take an anonymous?
Mention
the You mentioned the service provider. I'm not saying that there are no arrears to be paid, because if I go to hospital today,
over 10 months,
it will take them 3 to 4 months to be able to process the claim. And this is done anywhere in the world, because at least that's what you do. Because I go to hospital today, it doesn't go down.
Owing service providers a year, it's normal.
You have not even mentioned the person.
I should mention.
Yes, because what I know is that they have paid. It's not up to a year. This is a statement of fact, because this is something I discussed about 3 months ago. I discussed it, and they said there are releases that Okoboy has done, and they have paid some amount of money to them. So yes, the tax revenue, we have built this economy than any other government. We've made it bigger. We are challenged because it's a debt distress.
So we've built the economy, made it bigger, and the debt too is bigger.
Yes.
600 billion.
Yes.
Normal.
But I mentioned it that we're challenged. Ghana is a debt distress country, and we are doing debt restructuring.
You are not even ashamed saying this.
But why wouldn't I say? Because I'm telling you that in 2020, there are a lot of expenditures that we didn't budget for. And these are the things that shot us to where we are today. Even last year, I mentioned it, that even workers, we didn't budget for cost of living allowance over 300 million Ghana. Government had to find money to pay the cost of living allowance from July to January.
But who cost it? It's mismanagement of the economy.
So when you give cost of living allowance, you have mismanaged the economy. When you are able, if the economy is even able to sustain a cost of living allowance for public sector workers, you are telling me that it's a mismanagement of the economy? I'm even surprised. So, yes, we have we have we've gotten a lot of monies from taxes, but we have spent it equitably. We have spent it the way we're supposed to spend it, because I'm telling you that 50% goes into public sector workers' wages.
Did you listen to the German ambassador and then German government, the World Bank president, who said that we needed to judiciously have been spending our revenues or our monies, and we haven't done that?
But we are doing that, because as I speak to you, 30% cut on.
Did you listen to the diplomats?
71 office holders. There is also 50% cut on coupons. These are things that, and at least if you check the number of ministerial appointments that people are talking about, under Mahama there were 84 ministers. Today it is 86 with 16 regions. Under Mahama with 10 regions, he had 84 ministers. Today we have 86 ministers with 16 regions. Effectively, we have about 60 ministers.
Why do you have to defend everything?
But why I'm speaking to facts. Okay. Not that I'm defending anything. I'm speaking to facts, and I'm here to speak to facts. If I don't speak to facts, I don't think you even allow me on this show. So I'm not here to defend, but I'm here to speak to facts, and I'm speaking to the facts. And that's it.
You see, there are globally accepted matrices for measuring the performance of an economy. So let's stick to those matrices. At the time, Dr. Bawumia was parroting that he was a better economist relative to the Ghanaian economy. Our debt to GDP ratio was 56% at the time when he delivered with the anchor hold, when we went for the IMF program. At that time, our inflation was how much? A little over 17%. If you look at our total debt around that time, by December 2016, we were doing 122 billion, correct? Today,
and to GDP ratio is how much?
56% at that time. These are globally accepted matrices. Today, as we speak, we are doing 104 debt to GDP ratio. Yes. Hold on, calm down. Just calm down. Today, as we speak,
the calculation is not correct.
Interest rate is what? Inflation. And you see, our talks about workers' salary. Do you know that today, as we speak, inflationary trends alone have wiped away all the salary increase.
From 54 to 43, we're coming down.
No, you don't get it. Nothing is going down on the markets. When was the last time you went to the market?
Inflation is coming down, so it definitely...
But the prices of things are not going down. You know it.
It is, because I'm into pharmaceuticals and it is coming down.
Where was inflation before you took it? Relax.
If you recall, Dr. Bawumia went to Malamata market. You remember that conversation when he went to Malamata? Because at that time, the Statistical Service had come out with the inflation and gave a lower... He said, look, he had gone to Malamata market and the prices of goods are not reducing just as it is. Today, when was the last time you heard Dr. Bawumia speak about the economy? The man is hiding in a hole.
Well, these days he speaks about digitalization. That's also an aspect
of... Is that not...
We have digital economy.
Please. That is the sign of a failed economist. When an economist, you took an economy with financial buffers. Today, you have destroyed the economy as the chair of the economic management team. When it became clear that the economy had been completely destroyed, associates of Dr. Bawumia, led by Arno Dompré, said, no, Bawumia is not in charge of the Ghanaian economy, and that it is Allen. And that, hold on, and that Allen is in charge of a cabinet subcommittee on the economy, and he is the chair. And so Allen should be blamed. Pay your own internal contest. So today, the man who touted or became the poster boy of the economy, today, he's completely flattened. In fact, he attained useless.
Are you saying speaking about digitalization is bad?
No, look, the man is looking for the soft issues.
Low-hanging fruits?
The low-hanging fruits.
Oh, it's not fair.
And you know something? He's also a coward.
Oh, how?
Our vice president is such a coward. Look, it is in times of crisis that you see leadership. It's in time of crisis that you see people who are what they are. You don't go and hide behind digitalization when the economy had completely been destroyed. Look, today, Just yesterday, the president met the Japanese premier or something, and he was begging him. Our president today has turned into a beggar. He took an economy that was flourishing and had turned it into a beggar nation. Where is Ghana beyond aid? But you see, when we're having this conversation on NHIS, medical practitioners were sending me information up to date.
But they don't really control the
fact that today, hold on, today...
They are just workers at the, hospital.
See, do you know that in 2022, do you know how much Akufo-Addo released to National Health Insurance?
But we're not in default, at least.
Wait.
People go to hospital and still will not be turned down.
In 2022, do you know how much he released? Zero. Meanwhile, he got 1.9 billion. He was using the money to finance his lottery. And let me make the point once again. Can you imagine Akufo-Addo being NHIS card holder? He would take particular attention to the scheme. Today, if he's not well, there are private jets available to take him outside.
The same as former President Mahama.
No,
the same as former President Mahama.
You see, you are not getting it. So
the same as former President Mahama. If you look at
the releases tells you how the people feel about the scheme. If you are doing 0% to the 0 Ghana cedis to the scheme, and you are a beneficiary, will you do that?
Whilst collections have been made.
You have collected 1.9 billion.
And it's been dwindling. If you look at what
I say you have collected 1.9 billion cedis from Ghanaians. At least if you chop some, you chop small. But this one, you chop all the money.
I'm surprised that you talk about chopping. You are a lawyer.
No, but that is what it is. You are using the money for something else when the law is clear. In opposition, do you know what Bawumia used to say? He said, oh, under NDC, the reason why the National Health Insurance is going through this is that it is not automatic transfer. When the MPP comes, it will be automatic transfer. How come that today you are not doing the automatic transfer? You are using the money to fund Akufo-Addo's luxurious lifestyle. That is what you are doing. And I'm saying, and I'm putting it to you, Awa, that if our president, the family, are using National Health Insurance, they will not treat the scheme this manner. In 2021, you got about 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. Do you know how much they released? 127, representing 6%.
How much is that amount?
No, 127 million.
And how much is the claims for the year? That's the analysis you should be doing. That they release this amount, the claims for the year is above
you don't even understand.
That's how you do it.
You don't even understand National Health Insurance.
You know, seriously, I've been lenient with you.
Overall,
I have told you how consistently we have 4 quarters of arrears. For service providers, at least the association I know in Northern Ghana. It is factual.
I'm telling you, it's not factual.
Give me a contrary figure.
Hold on. He has a plan to disrupt the program.
No. So why would I disrupt the program?
Let's focus on the issue.
Because each minute you are disrupting.
He's finished talking.
Let's focus on
time.
The issue.
Let me also have my bite.
He's saying that claim payment in 2021 was how much they released. How can you do this to yourself? 2021, you released 127 million Ghana cedis. When claim payment was in excess of 800, you know, Parliament approves what they call the NHIS disbursement formula. You know it. The formula generated in 2021 was not for 127 million. You got 1.2 billion. You released 127 million Ghana cedis, representing 6%. In 2022, you did 0%. And you are saying the claim payment in 2022 was 0? How do you understand the workings of NHIS? Look, if you want to measure the workings of NHIS, there's what we call the outpatient utilization ratio. That gives you a better understanding of the scheme. It has never been better under Akufo-Addo's administration. The number of times a subscriber uses the service on the basis of that subscription, the rate, it has fallen under Akufo-Addo. I mean, there's a saying in law that nothing convicts a man faster than his own words. Look at somebody like the health minister. He gave the terminal report of National Health Insurance and a very damning report. He said, look, even him,
he doesn't own.
as health minister, he has stopped using his. He prefers doing cash and carry. Well, are you better informed about the health issue than your health minister? Please. This is how
our health minister.
Our health minister. Look at the verdict on your own work. And you see today, and I'm happy that finally the TUC boss is coming home. He's beginning to appreciate the reality. Look, on May 1st, a day dedicated to workers, that is the day Akufo-Addo decided to implement his 3 new taxes. How insensitive can you be? You don't pay tax.
The same as former President Mahama.
It matters not. How you relate with our tax issue, that is the defining thing. You've gotten more tax revenue than any president.
I've told you where we spend it.
And when it comes to, look, I listened to you and you said, look, we've used the money for payment of salaries, emolument and others. Do you know that you can keep the same workforce and pay them more and there will be a problem? Correct. In any case, who started the implementation of single spine? We did. Kufuor only brought the law. It was the Mills Mahama administration that championed. For the first time, we saw health workers, police officers, happily buying cars simply because of the arrears. Tell me it's not true.
Right.
So you cannot come here and justify your wasteful expenditures on the basis of the fact that you are paying more.
Right.
Do you know where the money is going? Interest payment and amortization.
So for
this year alone, hold on. This year alone, we are doing 53 billion Ghana cedis on interest payment and amortization. At the time when we cautioned Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the chair of the economic management team, the finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta, that the overborrowing that is benefiting the finance minister is going to create a generational crisis. What was Vice President Bawumia's response? He said, look, their borrowing is decreasing.
All right.
How can you be this?
From the Christian Health Association
deceptive?
of Ghana, all service providers under that scheme are only allowing patients to pick folders at the hospitals with no para or even basic multivitamins. For example, 500 mils of dextrose 5%, which was 4 Ghana cedis, is now 12 Ghana cedis. And so when you dispense, you only get paid the next year.
Do you understand?
This is from health insurance. Average claims amount paid by NHIS per month to health facilities increased by 50% from about 100 million per month in the last 7 months to 150 million to help cushion the facilities. This from health insurance that they are paying. And
so the minister knew this and still...
Averagely, it has even moved up.
I see.
And they are still paying.
They are paying with what money?
Do you use health insurance?
Yes, I use health insurance.
They are paying
Which
with what
hospitals
money?
do you visit?
I visit every hospital because during the NDC time, I could only visit Sepedo State Health Center. No, I'm saying I live in Kumasi, and I'm telling you.
Which hospitals do you visit from
I'm
which
saying that
you are saying that everything is
I
fine?
can go to every hospital now because under the NDC, I can only go to Sepedo State Hospital.
I'm saying that which hospitals do you use your health insurance from which you say that services provided are...
Government Hospital. I was there about 6 months ago.
All right.
I was at Meshia Government Hospital.
From Vincent. Vincent says that, why is Awal trying to deny the fact? I took my son to the hospital with the NHIS card just last week, and I was made to pay the full amount due. Not a penny was taken care of by the scheme.
I took my wife to La Paz Community Hospital.
Even though I presented my card.
Just this is about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. La Paz Community Hospital at La Paz. Yeah. I only paid for some few medicines that they wrote for us. But I didn't pay for the services that was rendered. With the health insurance, I took my wife there, just here. La Paz Community Hospital.
You see, Awal doesn't even understand the workings of the National Health Insurance.
He just got a message from... Who sent you? The CEO, Okoboy?
Yeah, I'm telling you that.
This is Okoboy. I was on Metro with him.
Oh, relax.
No, I was on Metro with him. He himself admits. Look, you see, let's be clear in our minds.
Just a point. Because he has finished talking. Let me just have my bite.
If funds are released to to the national health insurance.
No, you started, so he
it
hasn't.
will help.
We have to move on to the
It will
next
help
issue.
somebody like. It will help somebody like. But you see, let's conclude on this. Let's conclude on something, Roland. The state of the Ghanaian economy today
that's affected and permeated everything.
Yes, directly impacts on workers. Look, in the midst of this crisis, listen carefully. Our president had decided to impose additional tax handles on Ghanaians. Do you know that these 3 new taxes will be carried forward to the ordinary Ghanaian consumer? Everybody will suffer.
The liquor.
Everybody will suffer. It matters not. It would translate. It would. Yes.
With this.
No, but that is not how taxes are done. Taxes are not done with you. Yes, you see, taxes are not done with you in mind. You understand? You can decide that you won't buy anything at all, so you won't pay.
But there are other items that you use
other items
that are also affected.
In any case, don't you take maybe Coke or maybe some other thing. You pay for it. But the key issue is that at the time when Ghanaians are suffering, you'd expect that total budget expenditure for 2023 will see a reduction. But your total expenditure had risen from over 147 billion to 205 billion.
Because we have 111
with a deficit,
hospitals
with a deficit of 61 billion.
We have a lot of projects that are under construction.
Hold on.
Now let's look at this.
Even in the
we have priority
2023
projects.
Ask him, in the 2023 budget statement, how much was allocated to the Agenda 111 projects? How much?
I don't recall, but I know we are doing it.
So please, don't come and sit on national television and ascribe the increase in government expenditure to Agenda 111 project.
Let's quickly try and wrap up. Today we have an interview with Dr. Dufo, an exclusive that Parkwesi had, so we'll play that full interview today. So please make sure you stick and say Dr. Dufo contesting in the NDC presidential candidacy primaries. And he's been having some sharp words for his opponents, and especially former President John Dramani Mahama. Now, it's related to the issue about the Galamsey fight, vis-a-vis the reports that has been leaked to the media, and subsequently what the commentary is, and focusing on, and the concern by civil society is that, well, instead of focusing on the reports, government communicators like yourself and others seem to be attacking the personality of Professor Frimpong Boateng. The latest is even, there's even a defamation suit in court by Gabi Otredakun, etc. And the man really has not made commentary publicly since, apart from issuing some just statement or two. Is that the position? You want to just soil the name of Professor Frimpong Boateng as part of the agenda? That's what's being said in the public domain.
So thank you. But he mentioned some few things about Dr. Bawumia, that Dr. Bawumia is in hiding. He's not in hiding. Dr. Bawumia has been talking about the economy. And when you don't really build your economy on a digital form, it means the economy, you lose your economy. Today, check the top 10 billionaires in the world. They are not brick and mortar. They're the Google, the Facebook, the others. So if you don't take advantage of the digital economy, which kind of economy will you build again? Dr. Bawumia, that you're saying that he's in a hiding, today you don't buy the same fuel you bought last 2 months. When the gold for oil was introduced, at least diesel moved from 23 cedis per litre to at least 12 cedis per litre today. So it should tell you that at least he's still there and he's doing the work.
You know what way?
But the gold for oil is his brainchild, and he's doing it, and it has also helped us at least to. You've seen that there are reductions. When I was going to Kumasi,
astronomically, and
Kumasi, when you're going from Accra to Kumasi, the fare used to be about above 100 cedis. Now it's around 80,
what
90.
What was it before?
It was, but when you talk about that, then we ask in 2009 what was it. You see, you don't do this analysis. I'm telling you, things are coming down, and you're telling me that no, your time it was better. Then in 2009,
we'll close at 8:30. Exactly 8:30 we'll close.
Yes. So
we have 80 minutes more.
I was here. You said government communicators were taking him to the
That's a concern being expressed by civil society.
I was here last week. I didn't insult him. I didn't say anything. I mentioned that this is not really a properly constituted report. I said these are his sentiments, these are his words, because he did not work in a vacuum. He worked with a lot of people. And if you work with people and you are really writing a report, the most important thing is that you will have to make sure that at least you consult the others that you worked with, so that at least you... So we did not do that. Gabi has sued him. Gabi is a private individual. I do not recall that Gabi has ever worked...
He's a politically exposed person.
Yes, politically exposed person, but a private individual.
A highly conflicted person.
But
in regards to these
Gabi
matters.
has never held any position, not even a board member of any state agency. So he's a private person, he's an MPP person, he's a senior member of the MPP, and he has represented MPP in a lot of platforms and so on. From the year 2000 up to today, you don't doubt that he's a member of the MPP. I had wished that maybe Gabi did not really go that way, but he's looking at his company, because African Legal Associate did not really begin work in 2017 when his uncle became president. They were there and they've been working for over 2 decades. If they are working for a private company and you sought to portray the picture that he can only call a minister to ask him a question. He can only
why is he suing the minister then?
He can only do enquiries.
If that's all he did.
He can only do enquiries if his uncle is president. It means you are really lowering the bar for his company. And he feels that, let me just wash my face and even my company, because it's very important. I wish maybe he didn't go that way, but he feels that this is very important. He has been defamed, and he will want to also redeem his image. That's very important. Nobody has attacked, to the best of my knowledge, government has not issued any edict for anyone to attack Professor Frimpong Boateng. We gave responses. Government gave responses to what Professor Frimpong Boateng has written in his constituted report that he calls it. There are responses to them. In the response, there's no way that we said Professor Boateng, we have insulted him, taken him to the cleaners, and
according to what is in the public domain by civil society, that especially anti-graft campaigners who are calling for proper way by which we need to investigate this.
You have hosted a lot of MPP communicators on this platform.
You are taking Professor Frimpong Boateng to the cleaners.
I'm saying that you've hosted about 10 or maybe less than that on this platform. None of them came here to attack him, took him to cleaners. So it is not the right picture. I know that the NDC, at least through their MP, has taken the matter to Shraj, even though there are questions regarding the person leading Shraj. But I believe that the Shraj can still do a better work in that, even though I still don't really have absolute belief on Whittal. But I believe.
You don't believe in Joseph Whittal?
Yeah, because when he was the acting, when former President Mahama appointed him as acting, when the Ford expedition came, he investigated it. After the investigations, he said former President Mahama breached the code of conduct for public sector workers, which says if you take, in line of duty, if you take $5, equivalent of $5 as a
Which
gift.
scandal
as a gift,
has the president been named in that he's taken to Shraj?
I'm coming. He said, when you, because it was not former President Mahama that took it to Shraj, Manasseh after the...
I know, I'm asking which of them
so
has.
When
because somebody has to petition for I know how Shraj works. That's what I'm asking.
When Whittal said that he has breached the code of conduct for public sector workers, that says that when you take $5 as a gift, it is a bribe because it's in line of duty. But he said he was not really liable for corruption. That tells you, and later he was compensated by the appointment last minute after he was really voted out of government. It was one of the few appointments that he did. So Professor Frimpong Boateng's report...
It's not being hunted.
He's not being hunted. It's with the Ghana Police Service to do their investigation, because we believe that the CID is clothed with the responsibility and the powers to do all these investigations. So they are doing it whilst Shraj is also doing it. So government has a very clear message that what Professor Frimpong Boateng has written is not an official document that was sent to cabinet that set that IMC
It's not
up.
official.
Yes, that set that IMC up. Because cabinet set IMC up. It was after you left office that you decided to write this, and you didn't do it in concert with the people you were working with. You had 10 ministers that you were working with. You only wrote your own report. You did nothing wrong. All that you did throughout the period was just okay, but what people did were not good. These are the things that he wrote. Government is not hunting him.
Is there a concern that he did something wrong that he didn't put in the report during his time as supervisor?
I do not know, because if he had,
so what are you talking
if he had
about?
done it
if
with
you don't
all
know,
the
then
people,
what are you
if he had
about?
done it to all the people, at least you will have a properly constituted report.
But that's the question, right? If you make suggestive statements, like, well, he only wrote a report and then isolates or recuses himself or estops himself of any blame, that's it, right?
You see, the chief of staff, and I have a copy of the report with me, the chief of staff actually wrote to him that he should give a brief report and pursuant to the directions and order of the chief of staff. This report was generated. In any case, the chief of staff office, the second ranked person in the presidency, the third, received this report on the 19th day of March 2021. The report is there. From 2021, if this report was untoward, what do? You write back to him. You are only finding these excuses and afterthoughts when the man has exposed the president. Today, the man has demonstrated that Mr. Akufo-Addo is not only a defender of Galamsey, a promoter, and an accomplice. Look, Frimpong Boateng tells us that in a meeting where Frimpong Boateng himself was, together with the president and the late Sir John, he told the president right in his face that this man is your biggest problem. The president, you know his response, I'll look into that. Till the man died. Look, I have seen a report where you will see over 47 forest entry permits issued to mining companies. And in most instances, the owners are MPP stalwarts. Look, the president went before Catholic bishops in Koforidua and defended Akunta mining, owned by no other person but the MPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Wuntumi. How can a president who says, I have put my presidency on the line, be defending Galamsey? So Mr. Akufo-Addo's politics, his embodiment and others, is deception, dishonesty, and that is what the scorecard of his presidency is today. Look, as for the impact of Galamsey on our environment, the record is there. Why do you think Bawumia had failed to speak on Galamsey? He can't. Look, Roland, I dare you, let your reporter go to the office of the president now and put a microphone in front of Bawumia to speak on Galamsey. You run away. Let him speak on the ills going on in the society today. You run away.
What's former President Mohammed's alternative?
The man has spoken. He had condemned Akufo-Addo, his handling of Galamsey, and you are asking for his alternative.
Condemned?
You are not even shy. How disgraceful can you be? And you see, in this whole Galamsey conversation, I want to even tie in the president's shambolic letter to Al Jazeera. I mean, that's the most disgraceful I have seen. This is a president that, after Al Jazeera finished with the report and his name came out, Al Jazeera actually wrote to Mr. Akufo-Addo, itemized the things Aliste said about him. Do you know what the president's lawyer responded to them? He said he does not have any recollection. We as lawyers, when a factual matter is put to you For instance, in court, I say, I am putting it to you. So I am saying that this is a fact I am putting to you. Then your response is, I don't recollect. That's equivocation.
When did the lawyer say that?
That's equivocation. Because what it means is that, oh, I have met him, but just that I don't recollect. A denier. I have never met this young man in my life. I have never provided legal service for him. That is what you do. And you know what? The president was not writing exams where the questions are put before you and answer demanded immediately. The questions were given to him. Take home. He should take it home. Consult his law firm. Oh, hold on. Consult his law firm, everything, and come and give a response to Al Jazeera. His response is that I do not recollect. And you know the other thing that he said? He said, I've not been in private practice since 2000, the year 2000. When the president appointed Godfrey Adame as Attorney General, you recall what he said? He said, Godfrey trained under him, and that he's his protege. You remember?
He did say it, yes.
Godfrey was called to the bar in the year 2003. So how could a person train under you when you are no longer there? Please. He didn't say in his law firm. In fact, he said his protege. When he
used the word protege.
When he appointed my Lord Justice Kulendi to the Supreme Court, he said the same thing. Godfrey was called to the bar the year 2003. By which time, per Akufo-Addo's claim, he was no longer in the law firm. His name is boldly inscribed, Akufo-Addo and Prempeh.
Yes.
His part owner.
Yes.
So when the person says that this man has been my lawyer, at least they knew what he was talking about. The impression is being created. Hold on. The impression is being created that, oh, we should see Alistair as what you call him, a braggart, and that he was just bragging. The man was not bragging. In any case, what wrong did Al Jazeera commit? The standard for a journalist is that when you do your work and the work implicates someone, you give the person a hearing. And so before Al Jazeera even did the airing of the documentary, they had elicited a response.
They had a recourse to
the president.
Because that's what you do ethically.
So what exactly? But can you imagine this? Awal tells me that, Gabi Asore-Chedakun, so, it's not involved. Meanwhile, everything notorious in this country, you see his name.
What do you mean by that?
Ejapa, he was inside. PDS, he was inside. Galamsey, he's inside.
How?
Did your name feature in the Frimpong Party report?
When a private firm takes him as a partner in Ghana, does that mean that indeed he's involved?
Do you know something?
Government of Ghana has not given him any contract.
We are talking about something that
He's a politically exposed person.
I'm saying that government of Ghana has never given Gabi any contract.
Can I proceed?
Okay.
You see, look
in
at
all these instances.
Please end for me,
Gabi is more or less the de facto prime minister.
That's how
you keep saying that. What do you mean by that?
No, because of the influence he has within this administration. And the other day, I gave the indication that for every
So you are saying, for example, if somebody in the stature of Gabi calls Professor Frimpong Boateng,
he will even be shaking.
It's not a normal call.
He will even be shaking. And remember that Gabi himself had given an indication that he has a junior lawyer on the file. That's Adam. And that it was when Adam had tried and it wasn't working that it was escalated to him. Why did he intervene? To put his influence. So at that point, he was peddling his influence.
Edu Tamaklo is a legal practitioner. And Awal Mohammed communicates for government. Now, okay.
How dare you do that?
Thank you, gentlemen. Now, the 2013-year group of Bishop Herman College as well as Pasola Girls. So we have Bobu Poga, 2013. They'll be launching some great initiative. And they finished school, old student and by association because Bishop Herman is my old school. I'd want to join all of you to say that July, please make sure that we're all in some level of unity and camaraderie. And it's because we have individuals who are very key in many of the things that are being done. And Derek Kwashi Gato is with the law school currently doing his pursuit of academic studies, but also professional studies to get. No, my senior by a year. And then also Roberta Kofa Nkude, you're an old student of Ola Girls and the 2013 batch specifically. And then also Salichi Freeman and Wanda Ago. All of you will be with you as you mark that day and that great event. But great work you're doing. So make sure you get interactive. We have an exclusive interaction with a former finance minister, and well, that interaction is with Dr. Kwabena Dufo. It's by Pakwesi Asare. I tell you, you will enjoy it. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.